Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1501. Good morning. Happy Monday. Little Monday morning point guard. We had some NBA action last night, the NBA Finals last night. I was on eBay Live, but I did have the game on behind me. Obviously, wasn't able to watch much, but I was keeping track of the game and the score. And also, it was kind of fun. We were in the chat. We had the chat going as well, keeping us up to date on what was going on. A successful eBay Live. We'll dive into it. We'll dive into the numbers. I also want to talk about buying. I've been buying a lot, but sometimes it's smart not to buy. And it's almost as important. Knowing when not to buy is just as important as knowing what to buy. So thanks to my buddy Nick, he sent me over something this morning, and I took a look at it. It's something, and I'll share it. Something that's like, ooh, that's pretty awesome. But it's just not, the timing is just not right. See if I can bring it up. But we'll talk about that. It's Monday. I've got the cleaners coming. I've got a freaking mess. My wife goes, how's the bit? She's like, cleaners come tomorrow. How's the basement looking? I go, like a freaking disaster. I haven't had a chance to pick up. And when I do eBay Live, it's just, I got boxes freaking everywhere. So I'm going to devote this morning. I'm going to devote this morning to cleaning up my rec room, this office. Another eBay Live tomorrow morning. We're going to do Tuesday morning eBay Live, 10 a.m. Central tomorrow. I didn't mention this yesterday, but I came home from the Madison Card Show Saturday night. It was a late one. And we've been talking about, we have our it's like a 3-season porch, I think is what they call it. Screened porch, 3 seasons porch, same thing. So, and we've got a nice little setup out there, but it's just, I'll go out there and work. Like if it's a night like tonight, probably not. Hot and humid, no air out there, with the exception of the air blowing in. But, especially in the spring and fall, it's nice. You get fresh air, open the windows. And it's like, and sometimes when I do work out there, I'll have something on in the background. Like I'll have my laptop with, a movie or YouTube or something, just be like, man, it'd be nice to have a TV up on the wall. So, and my wife and I have talked about that since we moved in. And the debate is not debate, but the reason we've dragged our feet is because outdoor TVs are expensive and you don't really use them that often. However, if you do a regular TV, you've got to bring it in, take it out, bring it in, because you can't leave it out in the hot and humid weather. It'd be easy in the winter. You just take it inside in November, bring it back out in April. So that's easy. But the summer, like, you can't just leave it out there in the 100-degree weather or whatever it would be in the porch. So that's been kind of the selling point. It's like, we don't want to, if we're gonna get a regular TV, we don't want to mount it, because then we've got to keep. But then, do we put like a shelf? Like, how do we? So it's been like stalled. We've just stalled. However, I came home to a little surprise on Saturday after the Madison Card Show, and my wife says, "I bought an outdoor TV today." I'm like, oh, like that was like the adult version of getting your favorite toy at Christmas. Like, and your parents said, no, you can't we can't afford it. And then all of a sudden it's there under the Christmas tree. And so outdoor TV, I think it's going to be delivered next week. We got the mount, so mounted outdoor TV. So hopefully it gets used more than the e-bike, the fishing pole, and the treadmill. So the treadmill hasn't been used at all in this new house. I have used the bike thing. I've used that a couple times. So yeah, so that was a fun little announcement when I got home from the card show. What else is going on? I don't know. Yesterday I did, man, today's going to be a 2 post office. Like, I've overfilled a tub, and I'll probably fill another tub when I start shipping later today. So I'm going to take a tub, make a post office run on the way to post offices right on the way to doggy daycare. So I'll take Ernie to doggy daycare, make a post office run, and then do continue or finish cleaning for the cleaners, and then get back to shipping and do it all again. So I think that's what I had. So let's we're going to talk about when not to buy, and we'll talk about eBay Live. I want to go over my numbers. Philly Joe, what's going on? Good morning. Andy Mack, what's happening? Good morning. Dan's in the house. Thank you. We hit episode 1500 yesterday. Cooter's here. Good morning. Gem City Card Show in the house. He was at Fanatics Fest. He was giving me all the insights into Fanatics Fest. And let me tell you, I don't think we've really talked about it. And I don't think Fanatics Fest, many of us not really interested. I'm interested in Fanatics Fest. Will I go? Probably not. Like in the future. Probably not. And it's not like, it's not the National. The National is complete. They're 2 completely different things. So I feel like this is going to be something that people will always compare the 2. They're always, well, it's a shitty card show. It's not a card show. It's kind of like when people buy Allen and Ginter. Like, you can scream from the rooftops that there's not just baseball cards in Allen and Ginter. If you want to buy baseball cards, there's 150 other products you can buy. Allen and Ginter, if you want only baseball, don't buy Allen and Ginter. It's like, come on. And I think that's going to be the never-ending thread with Fanatics Fest versus the National. 2 completely separate things. Fanatics Fest is it's an event. It's an experience. The National is a giant card show. Now, are there experiences and events to an extent, I guess, autographs, but it's basically, that's what you have at card. The National is just a big card show. That's really what it is. And that's great. And we love it. But it's just a big card show. Fanatics Fest has a card show element. There's a couple hundred, I don't know what, 200-300 tables. It's not for bar. If you've seen the price tag on tables, it's like $3,500, I think, for tables. You're not going to put dollar boxes out. So if you're a bargain boxer, you're not going to find any bargain boxes at Fanatics Fest, because you can't make that money work. It's kind of like some dealers don't want to pay $80 for a table at a one-day show because they just have quarter boxes. And I get it. As a quarter box seller, it's like, well, and you have to buy a couple tables if you want to bring, enough. So you're looking at $200, if you want 3 tables, $240, plus your time and all that. And it's like, well, is it really worth it? So same thing. So, I think it's awesome. I think Fanatics Fest is totally effing awesome. It's the crowd. It seems like the crowd that doesn't like it is the crowd that just wants card shows in their smoke-filled VFW halls with 10 tables, and they want all the deals to themselves, and they don't want anybody coming into the hobby. And that's just, and also I have a stake in this because it's my business. So I want the hobby to grow, and I want celebrities to be showing off cards and being filmed buying cards at a card show, because that helps all of us that have some sort of stake. If you're selling cards in any capacity, it will help. So I'm a big fan of Fanatics Fest, even though probably never go, but I'm glad it's there. There's a lot of things I'm a very big fan of that I'll never experience myself. So, but that's my thoughts on Fanatics Fest. Dave, what's going on? Hey, he's a teacher up early in the summer. What's going on? Dave Arnold, he says it's going to be a hot one in Macomb today. Yeah. I took Ernie out yesterday morning and like later in the morning, and I'm still wearing sweatpants and a hoodie, and I walk out, I'm like, whew, whew, it's a shorts day. It's a shorts and t-shirt day. Cooter says, wait, that's not what I wanted to say. Can you cancel my comment? You didn't want to say good morning? Jody, good morning all, he says. Max says, trying to be nice here. Very glad last night's game went the way it did sans injury. There has never been a team I've cheered harder against in my life than the No-Seers. The No-Seers? I'm glad Oklahoma City won. I'm glad Oklahoma City won. Yeah, the injury to Tyrese Halliburton really sucks. And it turned into a blowout. Like the Thunder just rolled, and that sucks. But I'm glad OKC won. I was rooting for them. And I guess I did have a little bit of a rooting interest because I was paying attention to the NBA playoffs, more the finals. You know, I paid more attention. I watched more of the NBA finals this year than I have, and I couldn't tell you the last time I watched this much of the NBA finals. Were the Bulls in the finals like back in 2010, 2008? Was that a thing? Or am I just am I misremembering? I'm going to look this up. NBA Finals, Chicago Bulls. Wikipedia will tell us. Conference titles. Guess not. 98 was the last conference. So they haven't. So the Bulls haven't been in the NBA Finals since the Jordan years. I thought they were in NBA with Ben. I thought it was like the Ben Gordon year, or maybe they lost in the conference final. But I was watching that year, like Ben Gordon was on the team. I just remember him like being on fire. But I guess that was the conference finals. But actual NBA finals, I couldn't tell you the last time that I was paying attention. I want to see NBA finals. History results. List of NBA champions. All right, so we got the Thunder. Last year was Mavericks, Celtics. Didn't pay attention. Nuggets and Heat, Warriors and Celtics, Bucks and Suns. 2021, Bucks and Suns. I wanted to be a Milwaukee Bucks fan, especially when I moved here, because I was never really a big Bulls fan growing up, even though I rooted for Chicago teams. I was a Chicago Bulls fan like the first trifecta, but then Shaq came along, and boom, I was an Orlando Magic fan. Shaq and Penny loved them. So I didn't watch a single game of the NBA Finals, even when the Milwaukee Bucks were in it back in 2021. Lakers Heat, didn't watch. Warriors Raptors, didn't watch. Warriors Cavs, maybe some of these Warriors Cavs, maybe I watched a little bit. None of these stick out. 2010 Lakers Celtics, I do remember watching one game at a bar in San Jose, California. Dive Bar was what it was called. And it was Lakers Celtics, and I couldn't believe it. I was in California and everybody's rooting for the Celtics. And that's when I realized people in San Francisco hate Los Angeles and vice versa. Let's see. So that's probably the only one that comes to mind. I'm going back through the years and I don't remember. I mean, it was probably the 98 Bulls Jazz the last time I watched as much NBA Finals as I did this year, or paid as much attention. So I'm glad the Thunder won. Peter's in the house. Happy Monday. David, good morning. Congratulations on your expanded card show. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Dan says you put all these in the outside mailbox. No, I don't. You don't dare go inside so they can. Oh, wait. Yes. So packages I take inside. So boxes and bubble mailers, I'll take inside the post office. Any standard envelope I drop off in the outside blue boxes. because the first time I took a whole stack, they put a rubber band around and put a Post-it note says postage due, and I'm like, F you. I took the rubber band off, threw the Post-it note away, put them in the blue boxes right outside the same post office, and they were delivered fine with no issues. So I've done that ever since, and that was like 3-4 years ago. Unicorn Cupcake, good morning. Red Lights in the house, good morning. Dave says, I'm planning on going to the Gem City Card Show this Saturday. Very nice. Quincy, Illinois. Cody's here. Good morning. Hope the show went well. It was a raging success. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you in July and at our next show at the Alliant on August 30th. Max says, have my opinions, but I will keep them to myself. Have a couple people I like that went there, so I'm reserving my comments. Unicorn Cupcake says, I watched a Fanatics interview with Emma Roberts, Jake Paul, and some douchey host. I believe they actually collected cards. Tom Brady was less than convincing. Yeah. So Tom Brady probably doesn't collect cards, but he has a stake in at least one card shop. Emma Roberts actually does collect. Like, she is an active collector. She goes into Burbank like on a regular basis. She goes into Burbank's shop on a regular basis. We know Jake Paul collects. But I think it's great. The more celebrities and pro athletes that get into the hobby is great for us. It's great for the hobby in general. Gem City says there were some dollar boxes and discount boxes, but far less than your average show. That's a little surprising. Were the dollar boxes, were they like on the same table as like a showcase? Like, I bet there wasn't like a dealer with all dollar boxes. Like, I bet I'm guessing if there were bargain boxes or dollar boxes, they were with a showcase or showcases. TD Sports Cards, good morning. Gem City says, Dave, excited to see you this Saturday. Christian's in the house. Good morning. Red Light says, no, fuck the Thunder. Fuck the Pacers. Most unlikable group of players I have ever seen play the game. Bunch of bitches. Max says, the Bulls have been shit since Jordan left. They had one good year. The Derrick Rose year where he was MVP? No, Ben Gordon was on the team. Because he was like on fire. Let's see. Let's go back. Let's see. It was around like 2000. It might have been that 2010 year. Let's see. Rose earned the 2011 MVP, thereby becoming the youngest player in NBA history to win it. He became the first Bulls player since Jordan to win the award. The Bulls defeated the Pacers and Hawks in 5 and 6 games, thereby reaching the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 1998, faced the Miami Heat. After winning game 1, they lost the next 4. So that was, let's see, because Ben Gordon went off in those conference finals. 2011. And who else? Joakim Noah was on that team. So it wouldn't have been, well, it wouldn't have been it would have been the conference final. It would have been like the division final. Let's see. Would have been, was it the conference semifinals? I just want to see box scores. I wonder if this has it. So game 6, Bulls and Hawks. Carlos Boozer, 23 points. Was Ben Gordon wasn't on this team? I thought Ben Gordon was on this team. Ben Gordon. So what year was it that Ben Gordon was on fire in the playoffs? Maybe it was it the next year and they didn't get that far, Ben Gordon. I just remember Ben Gordon just having a couple like awesome games in the playoffs for the Bulls. Oh, so it would have been before that. Let's see. So he was there 2004, 2000. So he was with the Bulls from 2004 to 2009. So maybe it was the year before. Entering the playoffs as the 7th seed and matched with the defending champion Boston Celtics, critics observers expected the Bulls to be swept. However, in a series that featured the scoring exploits, so it was the 2008-2009. Gordon had 42 points in Game 2. Ray Allen had 51 in Game 6. 7 overtime periods and 5 games decided by a single basket. The Bulls pushed the series to 7 games before losing. Ben Gordon led the Bulls in scoring for the season and playoffs, averaging 20.7. And he averaged 24.3 points in the playoffs. So it was the season before, or 2 seasons before they went to the conference finals. Cooter says, you visit OKC and we win the title. Coincidence? Maybe not. Maybe not. I need to visit Chicago soon for a Cubs World Series. Dan says, Bulls in 2010-11 lost in ECF with Rose. Only time they made the Eastern Conference Finals since 98. Gem City says it would be 3 tables, an 80% showcase, and then a 4-row or 2-row. Read your fucking chat comments. Back says, sure, he was on the team, but he wasn't the dude. Jody says, reminder to all, we only have a week to spend our store supply coupon for the quarter. Did I? Yes, I did. I did buy mine. I got my larger bubble mailers. Red Light says, I'm going to send all my Pacers cards to MD Sports Cards. I can move Halliburton here, but he's the guy I can't stand the most. Sad because I would love to collect him being a Wisconsin kid. Unicorn says, we get Sprewell and Halliburton. Them's the breaks. Max says, can we talk about how 3 Eastern Conference All-Stars blew their Achilles in the playoffs and they all wore number 0? That's some freaky stuff, isn't it? Bronco, what's going on? Got a glowing report about the first Alliance show from Deputy East Coast Tom. Congrats. Thank you, sir. Carrie says, I believe 2011 was the series where the Bulls blew out the Heat in Game 1, then had to wait 2 days for Game 2 because of an Oprah event. Fans blamed her for giving the Heat the extra rest. Glad Hallie was voted most overrated, though. Last night proved that. Barton Cards and Collectibles. Good morning. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So we had the NBA Finals last night. We had eBay Live last night. Another success. Smashed my previous sales record last night. By the way, the 90 Leaf Griffey. Remember, we put that to the test. I said so. I bought it for $5. What was my prediction? $40, I think. I think this will sell for $40. Final tally, $42 for the $5 slab of Ken Griffey Jr. 1990 Leaf. The $5 slabs, I think I sold every single one. I think the cheapest one went for $11. So, say that person only bought that slab and nothing else. It's basically $1 profit, maybe, let's see, 11 plus the 99 cents, so $12. So yeah, maybe like $1 profit if they only bought the one. But I don't think most buyers are repeat buyers and buy several items within the auction. So yeah, so I think the Griffey was the biggest winner on that. There was like a Justin Blackman, I think, rookie auto PSA 9. I think that went in the 30s. That was a $5 slab. I think the Casey Mize went for almost $30. That was a $5 slab. I think Torkelson went for in the 20s. So the $5 slabs were a big hit. However, some of the slabs that I bought outright were break even, and I after fees and shipping, I'll take a loss. But it was still, and it was some of the early ones. So I was a little careful with what I was running, and I wanted to gauge the room, what's selling. But there was, other stuff like Caitlin Clark slab. I think I paid $20 for it, sold for $100. I think that one did get paid for. I had some issues with Caitlin Clark. It was almost like it felt like people were shill bidding and trying to inflate the prices, which pisses me off. And I said as much during the live stream when it's like, I didn't mean to buy that. I meant to bid $10. Like, no, there's no cancellations on eBay Live. I'm not canceling your orders. You've got to suck it up. If you don't pay, you're going to get an unpaid item strike. If it happens twice, I'm going to block you. So one person did pay, and I think that was the $100 slab. And the other person did put a cancellation request. I declined it. Probably won't get paid. So they'll get an unpaid item strike, and I'll have to go through to see, because I get quite a few. Not quite. I mean, it's a small percent, but just one is more than I want. Especially when it's on a liquid. If it's a $2 Emmitt Smith card from 1991, it doesn't bother me. But if it's a Caitlin Clark that, there's a lot of people bidding on, that really ticks me off. So it was a highly successful night. Moved a lot of cards, made a lot of money, and we're going to do it again Tuesday morning. My eBay numbers year to date, remember my goal, 40% year over year growth. I am now at 114% year over year growth on net sales. I am 19% up on quantity sold compared to this period last year. And my average sales price is up 42%. So eBay Live, huge success for my business. I'm going to go to the chat, and then we're going to talk about not buying. Not buying. Mr. Archer is here. Good morning. Max says, Rich, you and I need to start an eBay Live selling account. We could just become the U.S. Mint. Philly Joe says, did people pay for their purchases? Some of the amounts appeared high. The amounts that appeared high, all paid, with the exception of the one Caitlin Clark. I think the one that sold for $105. They probably won't pay. They put a cancellation request. I declined it. The $100 Caitlin sale was paid for. Some of the other Caitlin Clark sold for like $60 and $70. I think I paid $2.50 for those. Now, towards the end of the night, the more Caitlin Clarks, it's like the first couple Caitlin Clarks I put up, it's supply and demand. It's like it's the last Caitlin Clark in existence, and the bids are crazy. And once I start throwing more Caitlin Clarks, and then it settles into $5, $6, $7. But those first few went crazy. Those were all paid for. The only high priced like eye roll, like, wow, that's not going to get paid for, was the $105 sale, which that person's like, I want to cancel. I didn't mean to bid that or something. I can't remember what the excuse was, but that dude from Duryea, what's up? Better late than never. Hell yeah. Dan says, block them after one cancel. Sometimes I get it, but it's at the same point. It's like, as a buyer, like, own it. I want to talk about that as well. Own it. I want to talk about that. Just own it. I've fucked up. I bought a 78 Topps Dale Murphy. I was working on this is like 10 years ago. I had bought off Craigslist a giant, like 300,000 card lot that went back to 77 Topps, 77 to like 85. So it was a lot of early 80s stuff. I was selling on Sport Lots at the time. And it was basically a ton of starter sets for like 77, 78, 79. And so I started buying the cards. Well, I made a mistake. It was my own fault. I bought a 78 Topps Dale Murphy magnet. And oops, but I didn't cancel. Well, this isn't what I wanted. I sucked it up and I put it in a box. I ended up selling it later. I might have broke even, lost a couple bucks, but it is what it is. Just own it. Just own it. And speaking of owning it, this is completely separate from eBay, but did you see the College World Series yesterday? Coastal Carolina against LSU. It's the College World Series, and I have a ton of respect for Kevin Schnall. He's the head coach at Coastal Carolina. He got ejected in the first inning, and it was kind of BS. It was a quick hook, and then some other umpire comes in and tripped and fell down. And you can see the video clearly in the video. Kevin Schnall didn't even touch the guy. And so The umpire that fell put two hands in the air, meaning a 2-game, because he gets suspended for a game for getting ejected, and then for bumping an umpire, he gets a second game. I think they did waive that second suspension, which rightfully so. But in the post-game interview, he was, he's like, own it. And he's like, I tell the guys, own it. And he said, if what I did warrants an ejection, I'll own it. I thought he was, I thought that was like, yeah, that's, I like the way he said it in that post-game press conference. But crazy stuff. Dale, what's going on? Thought you handled the clown show well last night. More patience than I have for sure. It gets frustrating, as you could see last night. Billy Joe says, agree, Dale. I was getting pissed and I was just watching. Yeah, it's like, because it ruins it forever. It ruins it, obviously, for me, because it wastes my time. And it ruins it for people that actually want the cards and, like, stop effing around. So, yeah. Annoying. Unicorn Cupcake says, when I buy, I double and triple check before I hit submit. Live auctions don't really allow that, hence why I stay away from lives. That's good. I got tricked in a similar way, bought a real good looking card that was not licensed, but it was still a card, so it went into the collection. Yeah, you just own it. Like, oops. So I want to find, so we're going to talk about not buying. Friend of the show, Nick. I hate Facebook on computer. I don't know how to work this damn thing. I want to get to my instant messages. Oh, I've got to go over here. It's so much, Facebook is so much easier on your phone. All right. All right. I think I'm in the right place. Here we go. All right. I'm going to click on this baby. So, friend of the show, Nick, sent me this Facebook Marketplace post. It's in Hudson, Wisconsin, which I think is a couple hours north of me. $20,000. So it's a sports card inventory from an out-of-business card store. Years range from 2015 to 2023. No junk wax. Over 500 5-row boxes full of baseball, hockey, football, and basketball. Well over 2 million cards. Each box is labeled with the sport, the year, and the card manufacturer. As I was loading and unloading, I spotted autographs, relics, inserts, numbered cards, refractors, negatives, stars, rookies. The list goes on. At the moment, I am not splitting this up, only selling as a lot, $20K. The inventory in this post does not include the junk wax era, unopened boxes, and cases from my other posts. So, I'm looking through and it's like, okay, 2017, like, are there any Aaron Judge rookies in there? I can't really zoom in and read some of the other stuff. Stadium Club 17, 22 Topps Chrome, 2021 Series 1. But it's like, was this, I'm always like, to me, when I just see this, and I understand when you're dealing with that much bulk, like, it's hard to take, like, even my storage unit, which, I took a few pictures last week. It's like, it's hard to, it's hard to take photos and everything that's in there, but still, like, my assumption is this is just all base commons, even though it says, yeah, I saw some numbered and relic, but what's in there? Yeah, if you get a pile of 18, if you get a pile of Ohtani, there we go. Ohtani rookies, Aaron Judge rookies. I mean, you can start making that money up pretty quickly, but that's a huge outlay of cash. And for me, like, that's like a half a day. If I want to go check it out, I'm not just going to agree to a deal. I'd have to go check it out. I'd have to dig through the boxes and figure out, okay, then I'd have to get like a U-Haul. To have to get a second storage unit. And, you're looking at a full day of unloading it, loading and unloading, and then going through it all, cherry picking out the good stuff to get that sold first. It would be a lot of fun. I just don't have the time. And that's kind of where I'm at, where it's like, damn, if only I had I've got plenty of inventory. I'm always buying, but I've got to be smart. Do I want to take on that amount of work and to move it fast? Because if there's 2 million cards there, maybe 100, maybe 200,000 cards are liquid, and probably not that many. Say 100,000 out of 2 million. You got 1.9 million cards that you got to move now. It's really hard to move bulk. It is not an easy. And in fact, I was talking to a dealer Saturday at the show and says, because I was looking through his bargain boxes, and he said, would you be interested in buying my quarter boxes? And I'm like, probably not. Now, he's got really good stuff in his dollar boxes. Because I've got so much quarter box stuff. In fact, I've got quarter boxes I'm going to be listing on Facebook Marketplace myself. And so he's like, I'd probably do like $80 a box. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't. I'm like, I have about 100 quarter boxes that I'm going to sell for about 25. And he's like, ooh. He's like, I mean, the box alone is $5. I don't care. I need to get rid of it. If I wanted $80 a box, I wouldn't sell any. I need to get rid of it. The money's been made. It's time to get off the pot. Shit or get off the pot. And so I'm gonna put up a bunch of my quarter boxes, $25 a box, buy them in bulk. And Alex says, makes me wish I still lived in. Oh, wow, yeah. He's got a ton of stuff. I guess he won it at some auction. So, I mean, if it wasn't, I mean, Hudson is, I mean, it's probably 2.5 hours from me. I'm going to look it up. Oh, shit. It's 3.5 hours. God dang, it's way up there. Yeah, it's right at Minneapolis, St. Paul on the border. 3.5 hours. So yeah. That's like a whole day driving up there, looking through it, coming back. So there you go. If anybody's in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area wants some bulk, Facebook Marketplace, big old deal. Let's see where we at. Max says, that's why I don't do business with people that have fake names or business names on Facebook or IG. There's a reason why they are hiding. I wouldn't necessarily say that. Because you got to brand your business. And if you have a business name, now fake names, yes. Like, I don't like fake names. Business names, I'm cool. Like, that's legit. Like, I mean, you're doing business as a business. I think, I almost feel more comfortable doing it with a business if it's legit. And if it's a made up fake business, then no. But like 1 Million Cubs LLC, there you go. Did you list the Jordan card yet? The one from the National? I have not. I don't know. I mean, here's what I say. It's like, I don't know if I'm going to do that on eBay Live because that type of stuff doesn't sell well on eBay Live. But I also don't have time to list it as a buy it now with some of the other stuff. It's like, you know what? Like the Drew Brees rookie auto sells for $250 to $300 on eBay. Buy it now. I put it on eBay Live, went for $155. Could have got $100 more, but who knows when it would have sold. I sold it right now. Maybe I could have got $250 for it in 6 months. Maybe it would have sold within a week. But I can sell it right now for $155. Let's just sell it right now. So with that said, maybe I'll list it tomorrow morning on eBay Live. Orlando, what's going on? Good morning. Dan's in the house. What's happening? Oh, Dan's been in the house. What's going on? Cody says, have you found anything good from the Goodwill pallet? Everything has been sold. I mean, I've got boxes in my storage unit that I haven't gone through, but it's likely that it's nothing good. But that's changed. Yeah. I went through that Goodwill pallet in like a day. I went through, picked out everything and put it on on eBay Live, made profit, and now the rest of it's in the storage unit, and I'll get to it when I get to it. Max says, got to have a poor soul to give the scraps to as well. Dat Dude says, this looks like the leftover from a large breaker. I've seen this type of lot before. Base commons, maybe lower tier rookies, maybe not even inserts. Max says, that's the biggest key to buying in bulk. Jim City says, gosh, that's just way too much for one person. Oh, it's not. Believe me, it's not. Alex wishes he still lived in Hudson. Dat Dude says, I have a warehouse with this and more. I thought about announcing a price to fill your car. Compact, SUV, truck, different prices. Shane says, I don't know. The price tag prices out 99.9% of buyers. It's worth a look in case there are Ohtani rooks. Shane brings up good points. Max says, understand the sentiment, disagree on needing branding. Sal Dougie says, good morning, listening in from the office today. Welcome in. Good to see you. So that's what I had for today. You're just in time to say goodbye. eBay Live coming up tomorrow morning. We'll do another buy request. We'll throw out, I'm running low on slab. Probably won't do too many slabs because I sold a whole row of slabs. I'll run some Caitlin Clark. Wednesday night, we're going to do women's basketball cards. I've got a ton of WNBA, bought a bunch more. Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink. I may have a couple. I know I have at least one Sophie Cunningham. I know I've got Kelsey Plum and Sabrina Ionescu. Ionescu was selling well last night too. So I can run some of those tomorrow as well because I've got more. I've got to get some of those curated for Wednesday night. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Check out my eBay store, 99centcards.com, and join me tomorrow morning at 10 for eBay Live. Of course, we'll go on before that here on Hobby Evolution. And then Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central for eBay Live Women's Basketball Wednesday. All righty. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow morning.